Islam. Welcome back to the Moor Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Brother Tyshan Edwards Bay. I am here with my co-host, Brother Shariff Bay, and co-host back for another week, Brother Najee Bay. Islam,
Peace,
welcome
peace,
back. Welcome
Islam.
back. Glad to have you again, Mo. This is episode 28, Islam and Supreme Mathematics. That is wisdom, build or destroy. Islam. Let's bring that wisdom today to inspire building and destroying. You got to destroy the bad and build on the good. Islam.
Islam.
Before we get too much further, greet everybody with peace, Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Rahubat, Alafia, Ionio, Hotep. I believe I got them all. Islam. It all means peace. This all means peace.
Namaste.
Namaste. There we go. I think I don't normally say namaste. We got to add that to the opening. And one last piece of agenda item we have to do is, in true Moorish fashion, give her praises and honors. Elder Sharif, Brother Sharif, please give us your praise and honors today.
Yes. Praise Allah. I like to give high honors to Almighty God Allah and honors to His holy divine prophet, Noble Ali, and honor to the forerunner of the prophet Marcus Mosaic Garvey, and honor to Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, and high honor to Sidney Ross, Sage Master Sidney Ross El, high honor to Nazarene Allah El, high honor to Hamid Anderson L. High honor to Timothy Dingle L. Hyphenated Noble Ali, and his other half, his wife, Mother Ruth, Mother Wisdom, Grand Novelist Louise Dingle L., and her daughter Diane Dingle L., and Grand Secretary Margaret Thompson Bay, and the Supreme Grand Sheik Robert Stone L., and his assistant R. Page L., and his assistant Brother Grand Sheik Brother Governor Brother Grand Governor Shimbill, and Grand Governor J. Howard Bay, and all you people out there, and all our ancestors, and everybody under the sound of my voice. Peace. Ashe.
Islam. Islam. I like to rise and give high honors to, all praises to Allah. Islam. High honors to the Prophet Noble Ali. High honors to the forerunner Marcus Messiah Garvey. High honors to all past and present leadership of the Moor Science Temple of America. And high honors to all true and divine prophets of Allah that stand on the square of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam. High honors to all the Moors worldwide, known and unknown. Islam. And high honors to all of our ancestors, everybody that paved the way for us to be here. Islam. Brother Najee, do you have any praise and honors you'd like to give?
Yes, I would. I'd like to give praise to the woman, for the woman is the portal that we all came here, and the only way to get to this earth through the original portal, which is the indigenous woman. I don't say black, so if I do say black, then it's referring to the original woman, the indigenous people. So I like to give thanks to the women.
Islam. Thank you for that, Mo. Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, what's on your mind? I don't. We didn't talk beforehand, so I don't even know what was going on. What's on your mind?
Glorified. Allahu min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah, the Most High. Glorify the name of your garden, Lord Most High, who created, further given order and proportion, who's ordained laws and granted guidance, who bringeth forth lustrous green pasture and make them swarthy and subtle. By stages and degrees shall we teach you to declare this message, so that thou will not forget except if Allah willeth. We know what is manifest and hidden. We shall teach you the path that is simple. Therefore give admonition in case of admonition profit here. Those who fear Allah will receive admonition, but it will be feared by those most unfortunate ones who will enter the great fire. In it they will neither live nor die, but those will prosper who adore the name of God and Lord, uplift their hearts in prayer. Nay, ye prefer to like this world, but the hereafter is more enduring. This is the book of Earlish, Revelation, book of Ibrahim and Musa. They say, for the righteous we have prepared gardens beneath which rivers flow. For those who reject faith, their penalty is the fire, whose fuel is man and stone. So I shared with y'all before about in the Quran, so Iblis bowed down to Adam Allah told the angels to bow down to Adam. Iblis refused. He was one of the haughty ones. He said, I ain't bowing down to that chump. He was made of clay and I was made of scorching winds. And Allah said, get out of here, you rejected one. He said, he prayed, so Allah, grant me respite. Allah granted him respite. He said, very well. I will come from their left and their right, before them and behind them, and ambush them. And I will stand in a straight way, and you will find most of them ungrateful. Straight way is religion. So this theme today is about decolonization, because our people has been ambushed by Satan, Shaitan. That's the order they decolonize. Even in the Message of Black Man, Honorable Elijah Muhammad quoted a saying in Revelation, Babylon the Great has fallen. Be not partakers of her sins. Come out of her. She has become an inhabitant of wicked and foul birds of every kind. Don't a colonel look like a wicked bird?
The colonel?
The colonel, ain't that a bird?
How they strut?
Huh?
How they strut?
Huh? Yeah.
How they strut?
Ain't it a wicked bird?
The colonel?
Bird.
The full bird colonel.
I don't know.
Full bird colonel is a wicked colonel.
What's the national logos for the United States?
On the bald eagle.
Yeah. Didn't the German have an eagle?
Mm-hmm.
Rome had an eagle?
Yeah, they did.
Yep. So our thing is we are beautiful people. And so this estate belonged to us. And we keep complaining and saying these people ain't doing this people, you got to ask these people for holidays and so forth. That means you're still a slave.
Mm.
Leaders shouldn't be talking like that. When we want to take a holiday, we take a holiday. We ain't being disrespectful to nobody, but we ain't nobody's slave.
That's right.
And what gets me and stuff, I had some great teachers from all walks of life. But people want to me to buy into act like a slave. When I've been on this path for years and stuff, I received light. That divine light, that's a beautiful feeling. As the church, they call it the Holy Spirit. Mm. But it don't teach you to be a coward. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. So I run back up this path because the path never changed. The path of the day is the same the law had for all the prophets. We on that same path unless we go on our lower self. So today I'm filled with the Holy Breath. I thank Allah for that because I ain't got to talk like no chump. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The order of the day is decolonize. Don't be getting mad at nobody and stuff of this government. Why would you get mad at anybody in this government when the government can't see, walk, nor talk? Different nationalities, different invaders here. And y'all preaching that garbage fear of the white, black, crayon stuff. No, your spirit got to be right, Islam.
That's right. The whole color coding thing, in reference to us, when our enemies use it, it's a curse. It's a spell. That's why they say the blacks. The blacks. That's a curse.
They love saying that.
Us.
You don't hear the whites. You hear the blacks,
you
right?
Hear the blacks.
So therefore, we have to take it up to another frequency because our greatest enemy is our lower self.
That's right. That's right. So we had to be aware of that, letting other people call us the blacks, because black, it means void, basically. And when you say that you're black, then you're saying that you're a creation of the United States, and the United States only exists on paper. Black, Negro, colored, and African American are titles that they gave to us, not titles that we were called in ancient times. Yeah. We were the Lemurians. We were the Moors. We were the
Atlanteans.
We were all these.
The Aztecs.
Olmec, all these titles. And we never called ourselves black people But black was the spite, and it's a spell. Like I said, it's a curse, just like the Jesus spell.
And
There was no such
all
person.
these religious people out here, show me a place in the book of records such thing as the black people.
That's right.
Well, Allah didn't give us that name.
That's right.
It ain't referred to us to being that name. Nowhere. And you go by that name, and other people come from different countries with different nationalities. They getting over on the United States because they know they can't walk nor talk or hear nothing, and they using their common sense, right? And they walking over you because you the dead. You're the coffin.
That's right. And those titles give them, since they created those titles, you giving them jurisdiction over yourself. But if they have it on any of their paperwork, you can sue them because that's a defamation of character.
Yes.
Right there.
It's against the law. It's called the Declaration of Deprivation of Right under color
of law. Under color of law. That's right. That's the fact.
Can you type that in? It'll come up.
That's the
deprivation of rights
under color of law. The whole thing is to have dominance over you, have jurisdiction over you if you accept these things. But if they put it on paper, it's really human rights issue. It's a war crime and crime against humanity. But our people don't know that, and they go along with it. These titles and these statute codes, rules, and procedures, none of them are law. The only law is the Constitution.
And our people's helping a group of people with ethnic cleansing.
Right.
That's what when they call you black, they practice ethnic cleansing on you.
That's right.
And so when our people promote dumb lies and stuff like that, they're a part of it.
That's right.
I'm not getting mad with nobody and stuff like that because we supposed to be on our team.
That's right. And
go ahead.
if you read the charter of the Black Caucus, it says nothing about helping so-called black people, but it says helping all people, just like the NAACP and all these other places. Then people complain about, oh, they're not doing nothing. They don't have to do anything for you because you're black. Black is no such people called black people. People are tied to land. Chinese come from China. Italians come from Italy. And there's no land called black land. There's no land called Negro land. Well, there was a Niger land before, but it wasn't Negro land. But there's no land called...
Negro land, that was a sacred thing.
Yeah, it was.
Sounds like a theme park.
Then, but not now. Now it's used as a slur, but actually describing indigenous people, just like...
And they got people to fall into the herd factor when they say the people's like a bunch of animals, and so forth and so on. So there's a certain type of fad and stuff like that that's cast out on us. You know, like for instance, the goblins on social media running all them fear taxes to the mass and so forth. So sometimes you got to cut things off and go within to measure the depth of yourself. And the self find peace.
That's right.
Get in touch with the God man. What they say, Allah is closer to you. And the jugular vein, 5% say.
Who's the original man? The original man's the Asiatic black man.
They say arms, legs, arms, and head.
That's right.
Allah is closer to your jugular vein.
Yeah.
Islam, Thyself, Lord and Master.
Lord and Master. Mm-hmm. And the thing about our people is we are ancient people. And we are the most ancient people in this planet. Everyone came from us, and everything came from here, right here in the West. This is the North Gate. The cities that are here, like Philadelphia, New York, New Orleans, which was called Algiers, a lot of these things were renamed, but they're ancient cities. California, L.A., Chicago, these cities and places been here before these people ever came here, the ancient cities. And we are international people. We did world trade before they knew it was a world, because we taught them that the world was flat. And if they go out in the ocean, they'll fall off. That was to keep them from finding our sacred places, our sacred lands and all. Yeah. So
So,
by submitting to these things, black, Negro, and colored, and things like that, you're calling yourself a corporate person because a corporation named you. United States is a corporation.
Or
It's
slave.
not a country. Yes, and a slave, and you're submitting yourself to servitude to serve others. And the 13th Amendment, see, we wrote, as the Iroquois, we wrote the Constitution for them because every tribe, well, we say tribes, but they were really tribal nations. Every nation had a flag and every nation had its own constitution. But we became into confederations in different areas. We had a Western Confederation, Eastern Confederation, and a Southern Confederation. And all these places were confederations that came together to rule one government. Like this was called the Barbary States of America before it was called the United States of America. We had a government here for over 10,000 years. And we seem to forgot that. They what they did was took our artifacts and literature and the things that they didn't keep, they took out and put them on boats, and they sunk the boats in the middle of the ocean so that we would never find out who we were, to keep us blinded. And then they taught us that we came from Africa, but the Moors and our people, the ancient people, come from this land here. The North Gate was called the land of the nobles, actually. But we are submitting to these people that have no jurisdiction. They're foreigners on our land. They came here under the 1713 Transportation Act as convicts, prisoners, and pirates. Pirates, the lowlifes. Their forefathers were terrorists. They weren't these noblemen as they try to pretend they are. They changed the history. These people were terrorists, and they've been terrorists since they've been here.
Yeah.
Racism is terrorism. Police abuse,
Yeah.
that's
Terrorism.
terrorism.
Yeah.
So what happens is they get us with the grammar. We use their language, and it's no consequence.
yes.
But if we use international language and in the language of our own, then it becomes a crime, a war crime, or a crime against humanity.
It's like, it's like. And young people, you hear me, turn to the state of your mind, state of mind of your forefathers. That's salvation. Them people that keep cling, that's freedom. You know, there's a at the end of the rainbow, there's a gold pot waiting for you. Because later on for that black stuff. The order today is colonization. Colonization is freedom. And more science say love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Nation of Islam said freedom, justice, and equality. Examine all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Examine everybody that's proclaimed the peace up and see if they are exercising them divine principles. Because enough is enough. Because this is the day of the grand resurrection. Up out of the grave.
That's right.
Yea, to walk in the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil out with me. Because these zombies look dead and Wilmington Delaware to me.
That's right.
All that fentanyl and stuff. And some of them dead on religion too, lying.
So we have to get back to natural law and natural things. When something, you can't fit a circle into a square peg because, or a square into a circle because it's going against natural orders. And whenever we accept these titles and accept these things from these foreigners on our land,
Their
we
holidays.
change the timelines, the holidays, everything. Then we're out of our natural order. And once you're out of your natural order, you cannot vibrate on a higher vibration and get to that frequency where you will know yourself. But once you know self, then it unlocks the doors and all that memory comes back to you, who you really are.
And
And those questions will be
Bring the
answered.
New World Order to West. Ramadan ain't the only month in Islam.
That's right. But
Stop feeding off that bull crap. You got to honor all the months are sacred.
mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of us here in the West still running to and fro.
That's right. And the whole thing is to return back to the natural order of
Yes,
things.
sir.
Because if you don't turn back, the earth is turning back. Like right now, the earth is cleansing itself. And they call it global warming and things like that. But what they don't know is So after so many years, I think it's like 28,000 or 26,000 years, the earth cleanses itself. The molecules in the earth changes, and the molecules in the people changes. That's why you see more people awakening and starting to understand, hey, something is wrong. This is not who I am.
Not only that, these gens have been after you ever since you came up out of your mother's birth canal.
True, true.
I learned, the brother was teaching Islam that the jinn is a fire nature creature, the undeveloped part of man. So we working on each other so we can get our full development. That's why it's a surah that says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa asr inna sanal fi kursa lathina wa amr wa amos talhati wa talsal bihaq wa talsal bisabr. By the token of time, verily, through the ages, man, by the time, through the ages, verily, man is lost, except those who exhort to one another the truth, exhort one another the patience. We need this so we can develop, so we can grow.
Right.
We all should be about it. We say, in America, especially the Nation of Islam, should be about unity. Because we got all these people around the world say they represent Islam and they attacking other Muslims. They killing them. They steal their gold, silver, trying to steal their soul. What will you do if they do it over here? You don't think they're going to come over here and try that?
Yeah.
They already tried. They got us thinking that we Africans.
And the point is that they already done stole our land. This is your land. You're indigenous to. They're foreigners. They're United States. We created the United States for immigrants, for foreigners to come here. The United States was never part of America. The United States is, if you see any advertisement for a watch, it'll say 1010. The jurisdiction of the United States is 10 miles inside of Washington, D.C. and 10 miles outside. But they try to give you the illusion that this whole country is the United States because they have invisible border lines of these so-called states and all that keep you in line. All these things are prisons to keep your mind into imprisonment. But
it's like paper terrorism almost.
That's what it is.
Paperwork and invisible stuff to.
And that's what it is. And
that's why I don't be Elijah Muhammad said the message in Revelation 2. Come out of her, my people.
That's true.
And we got to come out of her and to our higher self. A different state, a higher state of mind. The higher state of mind is the garden. And when you come to that state of mind and stand on your post and stuff, them jinn will run.
That's right.
Watch Allah perform.
And so we have to remember our posts and our status as far as we were the creators that created everything on this earth. We created everything from the plants. We created the plants and we talked to the plants through our DNA. Everything that's here is ancient. They developed or didn't create anything. All it did is discovered what we hid and then claimed it. But these things have been around for millions of years, from the Tartarian civilizations to the Moor. And the Moor is one of the first recorded civilizations, and they had all things. But as all things, if you try to change nature, then it corrupts the whole system.
This is a unity call for all them brothers and sisters out there. We had to come together and we plan our demise.
Well, the thing is,
the dollar bill ain't even like it used to be. It's losing value.
That's right, and so that's another spell.
The thing is, what are you leaving behind? Your pocket might be loaded today, but what have you left your children, sucker?
See, and they use sorcery. Like the money is sorcery. When you look at the money and their faces on it, that's sorcery. That's making you think. That's making you think that you're less.
Like a ghost.
It is, and it's all sorcery. And so when you look at it, you will feel less and feel like you dominated. But you have to ask yourself, why? If you're a person that's so great, why would they have to go through all this trouble of hiding the history, hiding the inventions, claiming things and claiming that? If they were so great and superior,
why do we keep letting them hide?
If they were so
Why
great
do we
and
keep letting them
superior,
hide stuff?
then they wouldn't have to do all these things. I know if I was greater than thou, then I wouldn't have to say anything
Look, I'm
because I
asking you a
would feel it
question.
in my spirit and in myself.
Why do we keep letting them hide our history? That's my question.
Well, we let them because we don't know the history.
Yeah.
You can hide something from a person if they don't know they have it.
Reason why they don't know the history because they turn their face on the law.
Well, the reason they don't know their history.
See the degree in your Fesmo?
Yeah.
They're in the wrong side. Everything's inside here. They're in the wrong side of their fence. When you to let them degrees flow right, they can't do nothing.
Well, the reason they don't know the history
all we
is
made up out of is stardust.
right, and the reason they don't know the history is because the history was hidden from them, and they were reprogramming and indoctrinated.
We went through
their schools.
generations of not being able to learn anything outside of trying to pass stuff down verbally, but it didn't last because
I'm sharing with
split us up and beat it out.
That's true. That's true.
I have a question, but what that goes back to, everybody ain't on the same plane. You can do that to some people, but you can't do it to all people. A lot of people still know the history. Our history ain't washed away.
You're right, right.
If our history was washed away, we wouldn't be here today.
Well, the history isn't washed away, but you have to be on a certain frequency and vibration to understand it because it's all been locked into our DNA.
Yeah.
See, all the history is in our DNA, so they can hide all the books and everything, and you're going to come to a consciousness where you know because everything in this universe happens in 360 degrees.
So you got a ground wire and a hot wire.
Right.
Can you put the hot wire on them?
That's right. You can try to put the hot wire on them, but it won't work. But the thing is, our people was conditioned.
The hot wire's a law.
Well, then you put it on them. But the thing is that our people has been so indoctrinated that once you come with the truth, those who are not, their DNA ain't clicking because the DNA is like a beacon. And what happens is when you truth, you like we said, your body will have a biological effect on you when someone is speaking the truth to you.
Yeah.
And you will understand that truth and gravitate towards that truth.
Yes.
But if your DNA isn't going off, then if your DNA is off, then and it's not flashing like a beacon, you know, them lights on top of the buildings to show the airplanes, this is a building here. Yes. Well, if it's not, then you can be easily swayed with any kind of rhetoric that somebody come down the pike using because you don't know self. But the thing is about that DNA, when a person tell you a lie, the reason you say, well, that didn't add up is because truth is mathematics. And when you realize that the things that are being said to you is not adding up, then you're exposing yourself and you're coming into truth. You're coming into that frequency. And that's the only way to break that frequency is to stop practicing, even though you may think that you're not, but their holidays and
witchcraft.
All these things are sorcery and witchcraft. The way they do anything, they will always do the wrong thing and make you believe it's right. And even at a verse in the Bible somewhere that says when the evil people start to teach you that wrong is right and right is wrong, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's the frequency. That's only can happen to people on a lower frequency. But like I said, when you're on a higher vibration and you get to know yourself, then you want to know more and more and more about how the whole universe was put together and how you were put together.
That's right.
And so we have to stay on that higher self.
The whole universe, the whole universe is a big library.
That's right.
And in slavery, we couldn't read right, period.
That's right.
Now it's time for you to eat up.
That's right.
Prophet, the angel Gabriel said to Mom, eat up. Read the name your God and Lord. Taught man the use of the pen. Taught him that which he knew not. We have to read creation. We have to read. And so when you complain about them, that means you're not reading. Because when you read writing stuff, you become happy because the Spirit reveals to you the truth of them. Like it says on that great and dreadful day, we shall reveal that guilty blue-eyed one. That's the Quran.
That's
so it's telling you what the blue-eyed one's doing. It's telling you what the colonizer's doing. And you still want to run in this camp and make friends while he's oppressing your people. I'm not saying everybody with blue eyes is bad, but you got to know yourself. You got to be about. You can't be half stepping. You got to be full stepping. When you full step down that path and that person up out of order, you can. And then we got some demons with brown eyes too.
Of course.
And you gotta understand that we're dealing with
Is a house Negro a demon?
We're dealing with non-humans because we're dealing with people with
reptilians.
no emotion, no human emotions. If you can genocide of people and it's nothing, it's normal.
Yeah.
You celebrating Christmas and it's a genocide going on,
Yeah.
then you're part of the evilness and you has accepted the wickedness as your own. So the thing is, what we have to do is reject all that stuff, reject all that evilness. And we have to see that there's unrighteousness going on. The same thing that they're doing in Gaza, they did it here first. That's what makes the European Jews think that they can get away with it too, because the first example of the genocide and the erasure and all that was the history of the Moors here in America. And to make you think that that your history starts from slavery. But you have to ask yourself, in slavery, they always tell you that a person, they always say that a person,
the war.
Right, right.
But ain't no war we kill babies like
that's
that.
right.
But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Whenever they say that there's now I lost my train of thought, but
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Mo,
Anyway.
are they reptilians?
I don't know if they are reptilians, but I know they're not human because they have no human emotions. Not if you can do the things that they did. And it's not just here in their history. It's all over their history, everything they do.
So
the Bible had described what they did.
Caveman's real.
Yeah, the Bible had described what they did. What they did was they kill, steal, and they destroy. Because they are what you call mimics. They can't do anything without a manual, without instructions. And we taught them governmental principles, but we just didn't have enough time because they were planning, the Vatican had raised the army to overthrow our government here in America. We had a government here until 1830, and that's when they stopped paying rent. You can say rent, or what is it called? When they was paying tribute. Tribute is what's called.
Rent.
Yeah, rent, tribute. And they still owe the rent to this day.
And you know, deepest part about it, what gets me, this is unconscious Asiatic and stuff. We keep saying, we're in debt. We $17 trillion debt. Just like Malcolm said, you know, in slavery you had a house Negro and a field Negro. And the house Negro, the field Negro said, boss, you sick? We sick too. He said, I heard one say the other day about our astronauts and they won't let him 5 miles near the plant. Now you got these house Negroes keep saying that, that we are in debt. The United States is all this debt, trillion. They indebted for us in slavery. That shows you how these unconscious Asiatics keep spreading that propaganda.
Well, they're in debt because the United States owe us everything.
That's
because
what I'm talking
the
about.
point is, they're on our land.
Yes.
They didn't bring no land here. We didn't go to their land. We didn't take their minerals. We didn't take their gold. We didn't massacre their people. They came here as refugees. The same way these Caucasian Jews from Europe went into Gaza as refugees and stole the land.
People need to work out there need to wake up because the U.S. government can't walk nor talk. Don't even have no ears, but the foreigners do. The invaders do. So as far as you blaming lies on other people, means you just ain't study your lessons.
That's right.
When you study your lessons, Allah will help you steer the ethers and change the ethers with a twinkle of an eye.
That's right. And so whenever
Your walk would be sweet. You won't even be the same person, but you got to come up out of it, my people.
Yeah, right.
Be not partakers of the sin. Jesus told the man, go sin no more. Fast, pray. Lord's close to your jugular vein. Don't leave this world and stuff without having that chance to have that communication, that sweet communication.
And when you go into their courthouses, the first thing they ask you is your name. You have not a name. Corporations have names. If you look in Oxford Dictionary, it says name means corporation. And address, that's the second thing they ask you, because these are the way that they get jurisdiction over you, because they're a fiction. Their whole operation is nothing but fiction. But they had to pull you into the fiction as a corporation, which comes from the word corpse, which means that if you're civilly mortus, which means that you're dead when it comes to law. When they summons you, you only can summons a dead person. And you show up, you're claiming, okay, I'm this dead corporate person that they created. And when they ask you for an address is a place where bills are laden or left. Address for any indigenous person here in America is longitude and latitude of North America. That's what you use. And you use these things, it throws their whole system off. Because for one thing, everybody asks you for ID and asks you, but you never ask who are the people asking you that. What is their ID? What is their history? Who are these people? And these are foreigners.
Give them the right to say anything.
These are foreigners that have no jurisdiction, and everything that they're doing is a war crime. Ever since 1831, when the Supreme Court ruled that the states have no jurisdiction, you can look it up. The states have no jurisdiction over indigenous people. When their president of their corporation violated that rule and that law, everything they did since then is null and void. Even their citizenship.
Word come from indigenous.
Their citizenship is in question too, because they sit up and they tell you, on one hand, when they're outside of the United States, outside of America, they're saying United States because they can't use the term Americans. They'll say United States. When dealing with other countries, they say United States because you are the only Americans here. You're the only indigenous Americans. All these routes and trade routes and everything, they were already set up by us. So when they're talking about people and they talk this thing about a sovereign citizen is a United States citizen. A sovereign is an American. So when they call themselves a United States citizen and an American, that's a sovereign citizen, because on one hand, you're saying you're a citizen of this corporation, and on the other hand, you're saying you're an American, which none of them are American because none of them are indigenous, and nobody gave them no title. They just took the title of an American.
And I reiterate, United States government is not a physical thing.
Right.
It's just paperwork.
And
you got constitutional law and you got administrative law. Administrative law is public policy, and that's what most of the slaves adhere to. And you got to come back within the constitutional folds.
Yeah, and the United States government is a white supremacist terrorist organization.
Yes.
And it always has
been. They terrorizing you and stuff, and you say you receive the Holy Spirit and all that, but that ain't what the Holy Spirit teaches. You know, you got together with these different circles, and all y'all do is collect money, and you turn around and look at our environment stuff, and look what's happening in our environment.
That's right.
Look at the zombies everywhere.
Right, and you heard the term.
So the children, so a lot of children had to come through that, some ranks. They can learn how to survive it, but we don't have to always be with them. You know, when we come together, we work miracles.
That's right.
I'm looking at everything that we created and stuff like that. And the thing is, what's wrong with us as a people and stuff is we love the devil. We don't want to leave the devil alone.
Well, it's not just our people.
I'm talking with Noble Draw. Lee said, worship under your own vine and fig tree.
That's right. You don't go.
I don't want no parasite eating all the fruit off my tree. We leave them parasites alone, we gonna be all right.
Right, and we went into a church. We went to a church convention or a celebration the other day, and on the wall, I noticed that in that church celebration, it was supposed to be a celebration of men, but it was only two men there, if you ask me. But the question is this: the on the wall they had a picture of Caesar Borgias at the Last Supper, and all these people at the Last Supper were Caucasians, and none of these people were around when there was Haru, Isis, and what was the other one's name? Haru, Isis,
Sarah Set Haru.
Arsara, Set, Haru,
ISIS of Sarah,
and
of course.
Isis. Isis and Arsaris is the same
Right.
person,
Mhm.
but these things were written 30,000 years before there was any Bible.
And it's just like I went to this funeral, and it was these Pentecostal people at the funeral and stuff. And the Joker had this Negro had all this garb, the mitre like he was the Pope and stuff like
You're right.
that, Johannes and stuff. And it don't even belong. It belonged to the Catholic Church.
So we're losing ourselves with this sorcery and these
then
spells.
then you got these Negroes wearing these white collars and stuff like that. They're not Jesuits.
That's
And
right.
then they want to go amongst the masses of people and they know little Bible and teach and stuff, but that's wrong.
That's right.
Because like the Holy Divine said, man may plan, but Lord's the best of planners.
And if you do your
That's an innocent soul you playing with.
right, if you do your research, you'll find out who you are. Just don't take our word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Go and look it up. It's all out there.
Yeah, don't take our
But
word.
by you not reading and learning who you are, you'll perish right with them.
Yeah.
And you giving them a free pass because they say, oh, we put it in a book. You giving them plausible deniability. That's all that they have because they have no jurisdiction. They have no legal standing here in America.
That dude look like a clown.
If we stand up,
he look like a clown dressed up like he a black pope and stuff and with stuff like that. And he got all these people endorsing that stuff. And then we wonder why the so-called black folks being oppressed because they're lost.
right.
They in that dark state of mind, and you got people collecting money, want to promote the Christian crusades against Muslims with a mass on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Muslims that's all part of promoting that crusade.
That's right.
You got Muslims practicing genetic warfare.
Yeah, because the Crusades never ended, y'all. They
Never
ended.
That's why nationality is one of the greatest things that happens because you know who you are.
And when they see you, they know who you are.
And-
They
and-
know that you are the creator of all things, including them. So they have this envious jealousy thing going on. And when they pray to Satan. Saturn, Satan. De-Jesus, Zeus is Satan. To Jesus, that's who De-Jesus means, to Jesus. And
No,
Saturn,
Jesus English, the AC Spanish,
yeah.
Zeus Greeks, and Deu devil.
Yeah, but it's all the same thing. They worship Satan, and what they're doing is they're worshiping Satan to give them the strength and the power to defeat you, the creator of them. So stand on your grounds and find out who you are. Do your research and find out who you are.
Yeah,
and
do
then
your
know
research.
thyself.
Don't believe a word that we say.
Know thyself.
Because we supposed to be studying, and they try to tell you what you should teach in school, like the critical race theory. Oh, praise to Allah, he gave you 5 senses. He gave you eyes to see, ears to hear, a voice to speak with. Exercise them senses. They're holy.
That's
It's
right.
beautiful. Islam.
That's right. So you have to learn yourself, know thyself, and then you'll be back on your natural order. See, whether you follow the natural order or not, nature is going to do what nature was programmed to do, and nature will follow the law, the universal law, 100%. That's why you have certain people on this earth going extinct because of nature. And if you don't learn and study it and find out thyself and who you are and what your place is and what your status is, then you're going to perish right along with them because you believe in what they believe. And a belief is something that's not true. A belief is to be lied to by someone else. So
It's funny because
Believe
that's
in
not funny, but
yourself.
they're enemies of nature almost, right? And
Right.
they do
That's
their
why you
best to
got. That's why you got
fight nature, and they got us on that same trickery.
creation.
Right.
Yeah,
Wreck the creation.
And the reason that is because, see, we're the natural beings on this earth.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
the first and only natural beings on this earth. So you can't create a being, and that was our mistake, and that's why we were punished for creating other beings, creating mankind, means mankind means that which is
kind of like
like
a man.
man,
Yeah,
kinda like a man, but not a fully man. Just like we taught them to be human. We never said they was human. When they came down from the Caucasus, we had to teach them, so we gave them 33 degrees of
But
knowledge.
human means sea creature,
But
monster.
true, well, they're humans and we're gods. Basically, if we created everything, what do a god do? A god creates. But if we don't follow the natural order of things, then we'll perish along with them because you're protected. You had the armor is when you know thyself. That's the armor because then that will put you on a certain frequency where you'll be protected.
come to study group, learn, get the knowledge of the know thyself. This Friday, every Friday, 7 p.m. If anybody tried to make it last Friday, unfortunately we had some things going on, but the Grand Governor is back. He had a lot of personal things going on. We kept him in our prayers. He's doing well. His family is recovering. Everything's going well. We are pushing forward, pushing along. This Friday we will be here. It's been confirmed. The Grand Governor is in town. He's ready to breathe on us. 7 p.m. Moor Culture Center, 715 North King Street. Every time you say know thyself, that's where I just triggered. Like, I'm gonna go into my spiel because you learn thyself through studying, and we have study group. We have study group, so you don't have to study alone. Come study with your brothers and your sisters. We have brothers and sisters in here, basically every Friday. So Friday at 7 p.m. Come check in with us. Come study. 715 North King Street, Moor Culture Center. Islam. That's my spiel. Keep on going. I don't got much else.
Okay. And I like to say that they have you hoodwinked whenever they have you worshiping something outside yourself. Well, they have you worshiping everything out here. They can have you worshiping a car, have you worshiping a suit, have you worshiping a preacher or a pastor, but you're not even giving no grievance or any joyful praise to self. Because once you know self and have knowledge of self, then you giving praises to nature and to the whole universe.
Islam and your ancestors, and it's funny that not funny. I keep saying that because it's just a normal vernacular, but at this point, but they turned ancestor worship into a evil thing, right? They call that evil, or they call it, even herbs. They're like, oh, sage, like sage is
Right.
you're demonic now, or like, oh yeah, we're demonic because you're using nature, we're
Yeah,
using
you're
herbs,
using nature. Right.
But even ancestor worship, having an altar or stuff like that,
Make
they make
sense.
that into an evil thing, and it's like, no, all you need is
Yeah, because
the
they have
ninja
no
or-
connection to anything natural or anything ancient because they're not ancient people. These are modern prototypes of mankind, of us, basically. And that's why you can't take anything they say seriously. And like I said, far as their laws, statutes, codes, rules, and regulations are not laws. The laws are the treaty laws that we made with these people, even though they broke every last one of them, which is a grievance that we can have in a court, world court. Statutes, codes, rules, and regulations are for corporate beings, corporations. That's like General Motors. If you work at General Motors, they got certain rules and things like that. But if you're not a part of that corporation or you're not an employee, which the day citizen means employee, undercover, which they don't tell you, then you're not viable to any of those rules, statute rules, codes, and regulations, even though they try to coerce you and force you into it. And if they do anything like that, then that's a crime against humanity and it's a war crime. Because these people are foreigners on our land and they have no jurisdiction. And each one of them, each group that's here without our permission, they're here stealing.
That's right.
They're here stealing. They have no authority being on this land doing anything because they didn't get the authority from the indigenous people.
So let's real quick because this is tying into the time of day we're in today, like literally. So tomorrow, this will be online tomorrow, which will be what they call Thanksgiving. So this will be online Thursday, but today is Wednesday, the day before. I mean, touch on that because we've heard they've given us all kind of stories. When I was a child, I'm sure I want to know what they're telling her inside of her public school about what Thanksgiving is. But
That's
Well,
Thanksgiving is where they killed a lot of Moors off.
so for
That's what
Thanksgiving,
Black Friday's about, a celebration.
right?
Queen Isabella, the fall of the Moors in 1492.
okay,
That's right.
And that's what Black Friday. So that they be celebrating our demise when they go to Black Friday. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And these things are, well, what we're saying now and what a conscious person would say is no thanks to Thanksgiving because they didn't give us anything but what? Torture, massacres, genocide, reclassification. Nothing good ever comes from these people, and it never will. And that's why they're going extinct. The earth is extincting them. Not all of them, because not all of them travel.
Some of them are some real good people.
Some of them are,
I
yeah.
pray for them. They're in my prayers, but them reptilians that's running to and fro.
Right. But the ones who feel as though.
The ones that are real good, beautiful, they have us in their DNA.
They have us in our DNA. And so those are part of us, even though you may not look like us, our phenotype, but you are us because they are our children.
yeah,
But they were just created for a different reason, which we ain't getting into today. But they were not created with all the things that we had. They were created from, and each one of them to this day are 20 to 25% Neanderthal. So they're not really, they're not 100% natural beings. So that's what the problem is with them and us. They're not 100% natural beings. They want to get to that frequency, but they can never do it. And they done stole all our technology and our ancient stuff. Like when they go into a country, the first thing they do is go to the museums and steal the artifacts and things like that so that they can rewrite the history and make it in their favor. But it's not in their favor because certain things that was created by us and made for us is only can be reacted or made right by us, you know, because it's part of our genetics and our whole being, basically. And they don't have that, so they can't go forward. They are not going forward. People thinking it's like right now, oh, we're doing so much progress. They're not doing progress. They cannot go any forward. If the Moors, if we were still in charge of this planet, we would be so far more advanced than what we are now. But we got a bunch of mediocre degenerates, basically, running things that don't know what they're doing. That's why they're stuck, and that's why they got a entertainer right now as a president.
yeah,
Because they're falling. They're falling. And Elijah Muhammad wrote that in a book called The Fall of America. But you can see it deteriorating with your own eyes because these people can only go so far. And right now is the furthest they're going to get. And that's it. What you see now is an empire imploding on itself.
when you do the timeline, yeah, it's every civilization kind of comes and goes, and every nation essentially as well. And the time is up, like you said.
Like nature's gonna get them. Just like you see the geese flying out in the winter, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They can't stop nature.
See, their war isn't
They
against
want
us.
to hide the sun and all that.
Yeah.
We're the children of the sun.
That's right. See, the war is not against us. Their war is against nature. But we're standing in the way.
That's what they did with the.
But we are nature, so-
Right.
The swastika was originally real positive and after it represent the element north, east, south, and west, right?
Right.
Four seasons. They reversed it.
Right.
What makes it evil?
And see, just like nature, what people don't understand is that nature will always cleanse itself and correct itself.
Yeah,
Like if it's out of order, it's going to correct itself because that's all it knows.
yeah.
And so no matter what they do or what they plan, it's not going to work. They can blow up this whole earth, and you know what'll happen? We'll pop up and start it all over again.
Because
But
all
we
we are is stardust.
That's right. And we'll be
Man is not the body nor the soul, he's spirit, part of love.
and we're part of nature. And so
Yeah.
long as this planet is here, we'll be here.
When the spirit man in Law 1, the resurrection is a fact.
That's right. Resurrection is a fact.
Salvation is a ladder reaching from the heart of men to the heart of Allah. That's 3 steps. Belief is first. This man thinks perhaps it's true. Faith is next. This man knows the truth. Fruition is last. This man himself the truth. Belief is lost in faith, and fruition and faith is lost. Man is saved when he's reached defect light, when he and Law 1 not mistake.
And that's right.
Islam.
That's the truth.
Islam. So my only thing I wanted to get off my chest today is, because people will be seeing this Thursday morning once it's uploaded. You know, if you are partaking in the festivities, I'm not going to be the one to say like don't. I'm not going to say. I'm almost going to say make sure you're very mindful. Be very mindful of what you're participating in. Be very mindful of the history, and be very mindful of what you're partaking in. So just be very mindful and watch out for the poisons of the mind and the poisons of the body.
I just want to say, sometimes I would go and grub with them something. I don't even want to be around the boss. I'm getting so much information, and I just think about all these lives were slain. And I think about how these goblins come across social media and keep projecting these spirits on. I want to think about that salvation, that loud salvation, being one with Allah.
Right.
If Allah ain't in it, I ain't got nothing to do with it. But and one thing I got to pal,
Is everything you involved in not involving Allah though, Mo?
Huh?
Everything you involve yourself in does not involve Allah? Can't you bring Allah to that?
Decolonization.
Yeah, yes.
That's all part of ethnic cleansing, man.
That's right.
That's all part of it. And so, like I said, this path today is the same path that the prophets of Allah walked.
Mm-hmm.
And all y'all playing religion, y'all don't know how to give up that's all part of colonization.
That's right.
And that's why you keep going back, asking your boss for this and boss for that, because you don't want to let your boss go.
And that's why you see a church and then you'll see a liquor store.
Yep.
You'll see a church and then you'll see a liquor store.
What supports the prison industrial complex.
That's right.
Look at all these beautiful minds that we done lost through alcohol and drugs.
That's right.
I was going to say
that was a lost temple, but they let something else invade.
Spirits.
Yeah, so what do you think this earth would be like if we had millions of us born here in America, copper colored, let Allah come up out of our heart.
That's right.
And walk the earth.
And give up those things like alcohol and drugs.
Give it up, because we ain't got forever to self-actualize. We got to cross over one day.
Give up those things.
Y'all can't cross over for me. I can't cross over for y'all. It's an individual crossover. And you got to have your life right.
Change your diet.
To pass this test. This is the greatest test of life.
Change your diet and learn to eat to live instead of eating yourself to death. Because these people, all they know is death. Kill, steal, and destroy. So if you're following their program, then you're destroying yourself.
Straight up.
It's time to decolonize for your salvation. Because my younger brothers and sisters, Allah's within you. He wants to come to life in you and show America a little trick. Because we have some naughty children in America. They trying to hide Allah within you. That's why they keep coming up with these false holidays.
That's right. That's right.
We gave the Crusader Mom a new mask. Gave slavery a new mask. Gave freedom a new mask.
Right.
Let's stop half step and full step. It's full step or route step, the same thing right now.
Right.
Half step not like that.
And they're still practicing slavery. They just rebranded as the Department of Justice,
and it's the master,
where they put us,
relationship.
And they're still into human trafficking. They're the biggest pedophiles on the earth, and they're the biggest domestic terrorists because they hate women, because they also envy women and they want to be women.
The files is telling you that, Mo.
That's right.
The files is telling you who they are, and so, but what the so-called Negro do is they keep washing the hands.
That's right.
It's a master-servant relationship.
And don't follow the delusion.
It's about ritual undoing, give that way of life up.
then this is delusion that they have you following a delusion and degeneracy because you're following people that hate themselves.
For
And
real.
we have to understand here in America that my movement ain't got nothing to do with the foreign Muslim movement.
That's right.
We hold different culture.
That's right.
And if you keep promoting that stuff like that, you out of order.
That's
I
right.
gotta focus. And you try to make it look like it's bad to study about who I am.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
you try to cast a ghost on me.
That's erasure.
That's why I thank a lot for those really bringing nationality.
That's ethnic cleansing.
Ethnic cleansing.
Islam. Come proclaim your nationality. Come get your true nationality. Moorish American, you are a Moor. I promise you, if you, consider yourself Negro, Black, or colored, you are a Moor without a shadow of a doubt or contradiction. So come proclaim your nationality here in the temple, 715 North King Street. Find us online, moorculturecenter.com, teas, online, herbs. We have a lot of beautiful things. Support the temple, support the center. You make a donation and come check us out every Friday at 7 p.m. We're trying to be here more during the weeks to have more consistent hours in here, but always feel free to stop by. There might be somebody in here. You might be able to get some books or some teas, but moreculturecenter.com is the best place to get your stuff. Islam. It's been an hour. We got to sign off. We don't want to go too much longer and give people too much because we got to be back next week, and we're gonna start having some paid. I know last week we talked about some classes. I know some presentations we might want to give, but that stuff we don't want to. It can't just be uploaded online for everybody to see.
That's right.
We have our discussions here. We want to uplift fallen humanity, be a light on the internet where a lot of darkness is at. But we're gonna need some support and really a better program to bring people into certain presentations, whether it be a Zoom presentation or something like that. We'll figure out the logistics, but I'm good. As any last final thoughts and remarks from the other Moors?
Breathe on us, Lord. O Allah, order our steps according to your word. May Allah bless us and keep us. May Allah cause the light of his countenance to shine down upon us and be gracious unto us. May Allah lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. May the sweet communion of the holy breath rest, rule, and abide within us henceforth and forevermore. My heart, mind, and soul says, let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Allah, Lord of the world, my strength and my redeemer. Ashe.
And help us to uplift fallen humanity. Remember, the patriarch came with Christianity to our country with these foreigners. We always had a matriarch society, and we got to get back to the natural order. Peace.
Islam. Thank you for that, Mo. I really do appreciate, before we sign off, you bringing the woman into the fold. We don't always necessarily bring that into the circle.
And I thank you too, because
Islam, thank you.
You women, the whole nation of beautiful sisters out there, that we had to help y'all come from darkness in the dark, marvelous light, and show the world something real beautiful, something they ain't never seen before.
That's right.
Because as long as Allah live, man will never die. Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad are here today.
That's
and all his prophets are here today. They live through you.
And that's right. And all we're going to bring you is the truth.
Because Shaitan, he caused Adam and Eve to take off their garments in the garden. That was their nationality, a state of mind.
That's right.
Come on back to the state of your mind, your forefathers, and you be conquerors.
That's right.
Inconquerable.
That's
Nobody can mess with you. Your thoughts is better than an atom bomb. I say.
And once you do that, the biggest weapon you have is nature and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Once you realize what truth is, then nature will start working for you too. Peace.
Until next time, peace.